Boom! What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Thursday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a local brewery of mine. They're up in Romeoville, Illinois, and we got a special one from them today because you guys know by now I'm a huge fan of IPAs, and you guys see me talk about where I sometimes enjoy IPAs with higher IBUs, and this one definitely takes the cake with this one because we got Tony's Car Imperial IPA, well, it's a double IPA with 120 IBUs. This comes out at like a 10.1% ABV. So I'm expecting this to be a hoppy son of a bitch, which gets me pretty excited to try this one out. Plus, this is one of the beers I actually gave away in my, what was it? It's June, so this was involved in the May Patreon giveaway. So Mr. Lee, not the real Gerard Butler, is going to be getting his hands on this one, so I'm excited to see what his thoughts are, but it's time for me to finally do a review on it, so I'm excited. I'm expecting some very, very nice hoppy flavors. I believe it's brewed with Citra, Galaxy, and Simcoe hops, which is a really, really nice combination of hops used for a nice IPA. Of course, they bring up a lot of citrus flavors, fruit flavors, and definitely some piney, dank, resiny kind of notes in there as well, so this one's going to be a slap you in the face kind of beer, I think. If you're not a fan of hops, this is definitely not going to be the beer for you because you have to be a hop lover to enjoy something with such a high IBU rating that this one has. So, when I was thinking about what this is going to taste like, of course, I want those fruity flavors to come in and everything, but I was also thinking of how like the mouthfeel would be with this one, just because it's not like your normal juicy IPA. It's not like your normal kind of hazy, I would say. So I don't know if you're going to get really like that juicy, pillowy, soft mouthfeel. I wonder if it's going to kind of lean towards like the West Coast style of an IPA to where maybe you'll have like more of an oily mouthfeel. I'm not sure, but I'm excited to finally see what this thing's all about. I've heard my dad's made a stop over at Metal Monkey before. That's how we got our hands on this one. I haven't really gone there yet personally, but it seems like a really nice crew they got over there. Plus, the location looks pretty badass, I think. It's a nice kind of little kind of location. Of course, you could do live music events over at Metal Monkey, so they do a lot of really cool stuff over there. So I'm excited to finally show these guys some support, and knowing that they have a stage where you can play like metal music there and all that stuff, I think that's pretty dope as well. So I think it's time for us to crack this thing open and see what this thing's all about. So of course, I'm thinking it's going to be more into like the West Coast style. I may be wrong, who knows, but let's crack this thing open and see what we get on the nose. Let's see. To be honest, yep. Getting very, very like almost like the more of the piney, dank kind of hoppy flavors coming through. Definitely getting. I feel like this is gonna have a really, really nice balance between the hops and the malt bill that they used in this one. Yeah, it's definitely has a nice bitterness come up with it. Of course, I'm getting a lot of those like cannabis like dank notes. Yeah, this smells absolutely delicious. So, I'll be drinking this out of my New Texican Brewing Company pint glass. Of course, you can get these pint glasses yourself if you got yourself. If you wanted to get a hold of New Texican on Instagram, he's a home brewer. He sells, you can buy beer from him, but you can also buy glassware, shirts, hats, you name it. He's a really, really awesome guy. Probably one of my closer friends when it comes to the beer community out there. And he's just a really good dude. So, I'll be supporting him by drinking out of his glass. So, let's pour this guy and see what this thing's all about. Oh yeah, look how dark this one is. Holy mother of Jesus. Look at that. This is, like it says in the description, this beer is not for the faint of heart. And just look at how dark this double IPA is. It almost kind of reminds me of like an amber kind of. But, oh yeah, a lot of those dank, almost piney, resiny cannabis notes are coming through really heavily on this one. Nice kind of almost tan kind of white head to it. But look at that son of a bitch. For an Imperial high IBU IPA, this is definitely something to experience. So I'm excited to give this one a try. Yeah, this just smells like piney, dank, on the nose craziness. Okay, so it's not 129 IBUs Kentucky, it's 120. So this is definitely going to be having a lot of hop aromas and flavors coming through it. So I'm excited to give this one a try. So without further ado, let's do it. So cheers, everybody. Happy Thursday. Woo! Holy mother of... Holy shit. They do not mess around when they say this is not for the faint of heart. Holy crap, that hoppy bitterness hits you like a freight train. It's overall very, very, very strong. There's a lot of bitter notes coming through from the hops, and definitely getting a lot of pininess. Got a lot of dank kind of notes to it that reminiscence to cannabis. A little bit of fruitiness coming through at the end, but then definitely I get really like this nice, almost malty sweetness that comes through. Definitely, it ends really, really nice and sweet. It for sure has that almost oily kind of mouthfeel you expect. It's definitely really, really heavy. I'm expecting the gravity on this one was outrageous. When it comes to trying to get 120 IBUs, I'm curious if they did like a no sparge on this one, or maybe if they mash hopped it. I don't know. There's so many different things they could have done to get those like piney, earthy flavors to come through on this one. So I'm really, really curious to see what they did with it. But this is a slap you in the face double IPA, and it's absolutely delicious. I'm enjoying this one. Like I said, it's not for the faint of heart, and you have to be a really, really big fan of hops to enjoy a beer like this. That's for damn sure. Because just brewing this one, I bet you this was not a cheap brew to do, because the amount of grain you need, the amount of hops you had to purchase to possibly get this to such a high IBU, and just they probably dry hop the hell out of it too as well. But look at that. That's just dark. You can even see some of the sediment floating around in there. She's a hefty son of a bitch. But that is delicious. She's a strong one. I get a little bit of a booziness to it, but you're just getting slapped in the face by those bitter, hoppy flavors and aromas. And it's just, if you're a fan of hops, like you're a really, really big fan of hops, this is definitely something to kind of look out for, because it's just, you get the citrus, you get fruitiness, you get the piney and the dankiness coming through it. Mostly the piney and the dankiness, but the fruity flavors and the citrus kind of come. I would say the citrus comes through in the middle, towards the end of where you're getting that kind of that piney danky flavor out of your palate. Then you get a little bit of the citrus, and then it kind of goes into that fruity, malty kind of sweetness at the end. That is really, really nice. So let's look here over at Untapped, and let's read the description of this guy and see what it has to say. So, the Tony's Car, you can find a link to their Untapped page for this beer down in the description below. And it says, hopped up with Citra, Galaxy, Simcoe. This beer is not for the faint of heart. Balanced nicely with the malt sweetness, this double IPA offers citrus, piney, dank, and fruity flavors. This beer will strip the enamel off your teeth and leave you begging for more. I really hope it's not the stripping the enamel off the teeth. I barely have any enamel on there to begin with, so just take the rest of it right off. But, of course, if you can't get your hands on this Tony's Car from Metal Monkey, I don't know if they really distribute out of the state right now. So Kentucky, it might be a little bit difficult for you to get this hands on this one. But if you want me to get it for you, just hit me up. We could possibly work something out to where I might be able to get this one out to you, or just if you end up seeing if they can get it distributed by you, who knows. But if Kentucky, if you want to get your hands on this one, just hit me up. I might be able to work something out for you. We might be able to get you some over there. But of course, if you can't get your hands on this one, Untapped is a really cool thing to where they show similar beers to this one. So if you might find some on here you recognize that may be available to you. So let's see here. We got one here called the Velvet Morning from St. Errant Brewing, where are these guys out of? Okay, so it looks like they're only showing Chicago breweries for me. So the Velvet Morning is a 7.5 double IPA, double dry hopped IPA brewed with Citra, Nelson, and then Simcoe hops. I don't really think that's definitely going to be more of that juicy kind of IPA they have over here. And then we got the Gamiski from Noon Whistle, which Noon Whistle's a fantastic brewery in my area as well. The Gamiski's the one they do for the Chicago White Sox, so that's the beer they make for them specifically. And then they have another one showing on here from Metal Monkey called the Cosmic Stash, which of course that's more of an American style kind of IPA. So they have the Nugget hops, Galaxy, Amarillo, Citra. So yeah, that one's definitely more of like your lower ABV, dank, hoppy, kind of resiny kind of beer. But so trying to find something that's similar to this is going to be tough, because I've had some with higher IBU ratings that there's definitely more of a malty sweetness in some of those. I can think of like the 120-minute IPA from Dogfish Head, I think it is. The 120 minute is definitely more of a malty sweetness, almost has notes of maybe like a little bit of like a barley wine almost kind of notes to it as well, just by the malty kind of flavors and the different grain they used in it. It's definitely not as hoppy forward in my opinion, just because I've had that before. But this one is definitely take what you would expect out of a high IBU beer and just have it slap you in the face with just loads and loads of hops up front. I really think that they had to dry hop the hell out of this one to get the flavors coming through that heavy. But to me, for somebody who is a huge fan of hops, this is definitely right up my alley for something that I would expect a 120 IBU beer would taste like. And they did a fantastic job on this one. So you may be able to find something similar to this one. Of course, looking around for a beer that has a high IBU rating on it, it's a little bit tough because not a lot of breweries like to experiment with crazy IBU ratings, even though it's stuff that brewers look out for when it comes to brewing. But I don't really see a lot of breweries going out of their way to make something with a very, very high IBU rating, just because it's not going to be, like it says in the description, it's not going to be for the faint of heart. It's definitely going to be for somebody who has that. It's going to be for a Nick kind of person when it comes to, if you're a really, really big fan of hops, this is definitely going to be something more into something you're going to be looking for. So you have to be a really, really, really big hop fan to enjoy this kind of style of beer. And for me, being that kind of person, I absolutely adore this kind of beer. It's absolutely delicious. So let's look over here at Untappd some more. And of course, it shows right here it's a 10.1% ABV, which of course takes it right out of the realm of being sessionable. Of course, you guys know by now my sessionable scale, I would say, stops at around 7.5 for being something that you can session. But that 10.1 is definitely something that you're going to have one or two of these and you're definitely going to be feeling it. So, and with over 1,664 ratings, this one is an average rating of 3.85 out of 5, which to me, I'm surprised. Most likely people that had this one were not expecting to get as crazy hoppy flavors up front as they got, so maybe you might see some lower ratings because of that. But yeah, I would, if I looked at this and it was like for a specific kind of person that really, really enjoys hops, I would expect this average rating to be at least in the 4s, at least 4 and above. But let's look here and see what other people had to say. First, let's look at anybody on my friends list. Of course, since my dad's the one that went and picked the stuff up, he purchased it over at Metal Monkey Brewing, and he gave it a 4 out of 5. He checked this one in back in like mid-April. So, yeah, he gave it a 4 out of 5, and then my uncle, by now, he checks stuff in. He doesn't really give it ratings just because he likes to use Untappd as like a catalog of what he's tried before, so he just checks it in, just goes with that. But let's look at the global rating and see what other people had to say. So, and if you want to get your hands on this stuff right now, this stuff is available on tap over at Metal Monkey as we speak. So this is definitely still in the season for this beer to be purchased over at Metal Monkey. So we're going to be seeing a lot of probably draft check-ins and maybe some cans and all that stuff. Plus, it looks like they're available at some distributions out in the Illinois area. So let's look here. This person gave it a 3.75. He said he got it on draft, so most likely he purchased it at Metal Monkey. Let's see. We got a 4 out of 5 here saying good double IPA. He purchased it at Binny's Beverage Depot, which is like the Midwest or Illinois' Total Wine, I guess you could say. He gave it a 4 out of 5. Let's see. We got a 4.25 here. He got this at Metal Monkey. Let's see. We got another 4 out of 5 here. Purchased at Metal Monkey. Of course, I can tell it's purchased there because there's a lot of draft check-ins. So let's see what else we got here. We got another 4 out of 5 saying thanks, Dave, for leaving one. It's pretty good. Yeah, I definitely agree with him that one. This guy gave it a 3.5, purchase got it in a bottle. So I wonder if he got it in a growler, but I don't know why he would put bottle, just because if you check in a beer on Untappd, you can actually choose a growler to be something you checked it out in. But let's see what else we got here. We got a 3.5. We got a 3.25. This guy most likely wasn't a fan of the crazy hoppy flavors. We got another 4.25. Yep, looks like another Metal Monkey purchase. 4 out of 5 here purchase at Metal Monkey. 3.75. Let's do 2 more. A 3.25, and then we got a 4 out of 5 purchased at Flight Tasting Room and Bottle Shop, which is in Yorkville, Illinois. So I've heard about Flight Bottle Shop before. These guys have definitely been on my radar of place I want to try, just because it's like it's a nice kind of craft beer shop, but they also have taps where you could actually sit down and have a beer there themselves. So that place has definitely been on my radar for somewhere to go and kind of see what it's all about. But yeah, Definitely the ratings are a little bit back and forth when it comes to this one, just because, of course, when you see the people giving it the 4 and above, you could tell those are people that really enjoy like the crazy hop heavy kind of beers. But some of those like 3.25s and lower, these probably are the people that like weren't expecting it to be as pungent as it is. But overall, ratings are pretty damn good on this one. I know I'm probably going to give it a good rating because I'm really, really enjoying this. But with all that being said, let's start trying to figure out what we're going to be doing for ratings over here on our end with this guy. You can see all that sediment starting to kind of go to the bottom. That's just concentrated hoppy goodness. But let's start figuring out what we're going to be doing for ratings. Of course, first thing we look at is can art. And I like this can art. It almost has like it was a watercolor kind of painting to it. It looks like it was like when you get one of those like pieces of paper with a drawing on there, and then you kind of just take watercolors and kind of do what you want with it. So I really like the kind of car going through a field or like on a racetrack where it's nothing but like a wall of hops around you. So it's like almost making it seem like it's a forest of hops. But having that kind of, I'm guessing this is Tony's car going through like a hop forest kind of situation. I really like Metal Monkey's logo. And of course they kind of made the font really, really nice. And the color of the logo itself is kind of blending in with the colors of the beer. So a lot of green. Of course the 120 IBU on there is almost like the speed limit sign. So overall, yeah, they took advantage of almost every single little bit of space of on the can label itself. And plus, if you want to look into see more about this guy's art, the art and design was by idlehandsdesign.org. So if you want to go over there and see what this guy's all about with a lot of his can art designs, you could do so, of course. So that's really, really cool. So overall, can art is really, really nice. Like I said, I'm really impressed that they took up almost all the real estate for the label itself, just because when you're marketing a beer like this, you want to take advantage of all the space that you have and market it the best as possible. So I think they did a really good job with marketing this one. So I'm going to give this a solid 4.25 out of 5 for can art. I definitely really, really enjoy this one. So let's see. If I decided to go over to Metal Monkey right now and I got this beer in a flight, would I get another one? Like I said, I'd probably not have to be one driving. So most likely if I got in the flight, get a little 5-ounce pour. And then would I get another one after this? If I wasn't driving, yes. I would definitely 100% get another one of these. If I was driving, I would take that 5-ounce and be good with it, but I'd most likely get a 4-pack to bring home so I can enjoy this one more thoroughly and have a full can of it. So, yeah, I think Metal Monkey did an absolutely fantastic job with this one. Like I said, if you're not somebody who's a fan of hops with this might not be the beer for you, but if you're a crazy hophead like I am, and you're looking and you enjoy some of those like danky, resiny, almost piney flavors that are in a nice IPA, this is definitely one to kind of keep on your radar, because there are people out there that hunt for high IBU beers, and this would definitely be one to add to the list of something that has such a crazy high IBU. So I think Metal Monkey did an absolutely fantastic job. So with that being said, I think my final rating on this guy, that's going to be tough. Let's see. I'm going to give this a really, really solid. I'm going to give it an 8.25, almost an 8.5. I really, really do enjoy this one, of course. Like I said, it may not be something for you if you're not a fan of crazy, crazy hoppy beers. I'm kind of curious of what Lee's going to be and how he's going to taking his first sip on this one, because I know he likes IPAs and all that stuff, but I'm really, really curious to see how much he likes hops. So we'll find out, hopefully, when we're all hanging out in Discord sometime when I get the package shipped out to Lee and he gets into his fridge, gets it cold, and then he can enjoy it. So, other than that, yeah, that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Of course, if you want to go show Metal Monkey some support, you can show them support on their social media pages when it comes to their Instagram. Of course, you can find them on Instagram and all that, because you can kind of go to my Instagram and you could see their page, because I usually do daily check-ins of what I'm be reviewing and all that kind of stuff. So you'll see a hand check, and I always tag the brewery and all that kind of stuff. So of course you can shoot me a follow on Instagram as well. You'll see a lot, like I said, you'll see a lot of what I'm be reviewing that day over there. That's going to be your kind of first kind of location of seeing where I'm going to be, what I'm be reviewing that day. But of course I have a bunch of other social media platforms that you can shoot me a follow or friend request on. Of course you can shoot me a friend request on Untappd itself too as well. Of course, you guys hear me talk about Untappd all the time. It's a social media platform for craft beer lovers. I like to call it Facebook for beer drinkers. It's a really, really fun time over there. You can check in beers, get badges, all that kind of stuff. It's just really, really fun. Plus, you can see what's popular in your area, see what's popular globally, see what kind of beers are trending around your area as well. So overall, yeah, Untappd is an absolutely fantastic platform. So if you haven't shot me a friend request on there yet, go ahead and do so. Link to my profile is down in the description below. Shoot me a friend request. I would love to see what you guys are drinking as well. And let's see here. Last but not least, of course, if you want to give me a little bit extra support and help me get a little extra coin in my pocket when it comes to possibly getting my hands on some more beers and then possibly be giving back to you guys as well by getting you some beers around my area, you can always join my Patreon itself. Link to my Patreon is down in the description below. I do monthly 4-pack giveaways of Illinois exclusive craft beer to where you can get your opportunity to win. Of course, let's see, we've already had a couple winners already when it comes to Mr. Kevin K. Of course, we got Lee, not the real Gerard Butler, who's won one already. So it's a fun time, and you can ask Kevin. There's some of the beers I've sent over to him are pretty damn delicious. So it's definitely something you want to take advantage of if you want to get your hands on some beers you normally can't get your hands on. And I'm having a lot of fun over there. Of course, I'm working on some new things for Patreon exclusive stuff when it comes to like merch, maybe some glassware, coasters, koozies. Thinking about making a Patreon exclusive Discord when it comes to just craft beer, a craft beer Discord for my patrons, so we can like do some beer discussions, maybe have some like little sit up to a bar, little voice chats kind of situation. Of course, maybe some buy sell trading kind of beer section on there as well, where you can kind of trade beer with other people that are around that, and also that are in the Discord. So it's I'm planning for a lot of cool stuff over there. So if you want to take advantage of all the stuff that I have planned, join my Patreon. It's a really, really fun time. We got a nice group of people over there already. But other than that, yeah, I think that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. So again, thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are amazing. And I'm going to end this like I always do before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see you all next time. Cheers.